Hi, everyone.
Okay.
Welcome to the Johns Hopkins Cerebellum seminar series. Today, I'm really happy to host Shogo Ohmae, who earned his MD from Kyoto University and then PhD from Juntendo University. He conducted postdoctoral research at Hokkaido, where he was mentored by Masaki Tanaka. Then he came to the United States and joined the laboratory of Javier Medina at the University of Pennsylvania and then Baylor College of Medicine. With Javier, Shogo made a fundamental discovery about the cerebellum that climbing fiber inputs carried information that resembled temporal difference prediction errors. Subsequently, he was appointed assistant professor at Baylor, and now he's assistant investigator at the Chinese Institute for Brain Research in Beijing, where he investigates neocortical cerebellar cognitive functions such as time and language processing using large-scale neural recordings and modeling. Shogo, great to have you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Reza, for inviting me to this wonderful seminar and also the wonderful introduction. And yeah, let me start my talk. The today's topic is the world models, the internal models in the neocortex and cerebellum for the cognitive processing. Okay, so what kind of the local circuit computation of the brain enables high-level cognitive function? That is a fantastic, fascinating question to me. And so in evolution, let me use a laser pointer. Yeah. Um, in evolution of mammalians, we evolved from mouse, monkey to humans. And then, as you know, the cognitive processing largely evolved. And then, simultaneously, the number of neurons in the neocortex has expanded. And as you know, the neocortex is not the only structure which showed such rapid expansion. The cerebellum is also showed almost comparable rapid expansion in proportion to the neocortex. So we can expect the cerebellar contribution to the high-level cognitive processing. Indeed, the cerebellum have the broad functions, including the human characteristic cognitive functions such as attention and also the language processing. And cerebellar dysfunction called cerebellar cognitive affective syndrome and autism. And so therefore, both the neocortex and the cerebellum are important for the cognitive processing. And interestingly, neocortex and cerebellum have unique circuit architectures. And that's the circuit architecture contributing to the cognitive processing. And also, interestingly, this unique circuit architecture is essential for the processing in across different functional domain that is in the for the neocortical circuit and also the cerebellar circuit. So both are similarly using the uniform circuit architecture for across different functional domains. So that suggests the existence of the versatile computation across different functional domains. And so I would like to today I'd like to talk about the possibility of the versatile computation across the different functional domains, and to to do that, for that purpose, I will compare the brain and the AI to get insight. And then I'd like to introduce my more detailed research on the cerebellar contribution to the cognitive processing. Okay, let me start with our first point. So to gain insight into the versatile circuit computation in the neocortex and the cerebellum, we compared the computations between the brain, that is neocortex and cerebellum and AI across diverse functional domains. And so because of the limitation of time today, I would like to focus on the language processing. So if you are interested in the other functional domains, please take a look at our preprint. And today I'd like to focus on the cognitive language processing. the cognitive, let me explain cognitive language processing, which is a non-motor and non-sensory language processing. For example, the language understanding start with the hearing of voice of others. Then the voice is processed by the auditory system to recognize words. And after word recognition, the words are processed according to the grammatical rule to understand the meaning of the sentence. So today I would like to focus on this part, the sentence comprehension after word recognition. So let me start with language processing in the neocortex. In this field, the innate theory of language has been quite dominant. In this theory, the language is considered to be too difficult to learn from the scratch. However, the AI field is providing counter evidence for this idea. The good example is GPT. The GPT used the next word prediction GPT got obtained the very high level language system that is as good as humans. So in in the training with the next word prediction, GPT receive a sentence and predict the next word. And interestingly, the GPT learns the language system by using the prediction error of this prediction. And interestingly, the learning system, the prediction error-based learning system, is similar to the neocortical processing theory in the sensory domain. So that is a predictive coding theory. And so in that theory, the neocortex is a predictor which receives a sensory input from the external world. And this predictor converts the sensory input into the prediction error, which encodes newsworthy information. If the prediction error is 0 and the sensory input is completely predictable, it is considered not newsworthy. And if the prediction error is not 0 and the sensory input is not predictable, it is considered newsworthy. And in addition, this prediction error is used to update the predictor. And in addition, the predictor and the acquired internal model is used to understand the world. This understanding of world includes the object recognition and also the extraction of visual features. So when I back to the neocortical language processing, recently the counter evidence has been provided from the neuroscience field. The neuroscience researchers, the evidence shows the importance of the prediction and prediction error, and also showed the similarity between the prediction error learning AI and the neocortex. And the evidence includes the evidence of the predictive coding in human neocortical language processing. So in this sense, both in AI and in the neocortex, the language, the model is acquired through by receiving the past words and generating the prediction and prediction error, and then the prediction, this language system is acquired through the prediction error learning. And this language system and the language model is used to understand the language itself. So we can say that both the AI and the neocortex use the prediction error-based learning to build a predictive internal world model of language. So this is a first point of the convergence between the AI and the neocortex. And then let me go to the cerebellum. And then the cerebellum also has a non-motor cognitive language system. So the cerebellum actually contains both the motor system and also non-motor system. Motor system process the control the voice generation, and this system is reciprocally connected to the motor area, the bilateral motor area in the neocortex. And in contrast, this non-motor cognitive region is located in the right lateral cerebellum and reciprocally connected to the left language center in the neocortex. And this, the right lateral cerebellum, that have functions, broad function, language functions, including the next word prediction. And interestingly, this is well demonstrated by the many papers, and also not only the correlation between the activity of the right lateral cerebellum and the next word prediction, the causal relationship also has also been demonstrated by the brain suppression using TMS to the this right lateral cerebellar region. So yeah, and in addition, the theoretical the circuit idea has already been proposed for the this cerebellar next word prediction. And in that case, the cerebellum receives the input words in a sentence and generates the prediction of the next word. And if the prediction is wrong, the prediction error is calculated at the inferior olive nucleus, and this prediction error signal is delivered fed back to the cerebellum to improve future predictions. And as you see, that this is a pretty natural extension of the internal model theory of the cerebellum. The internal model theory is a famous theory to explain the motor functions of the cerebellum. In this theory, the cerebellum receives the sensory input from the external world to predict the next sensory input from the external world. And if the prediction is wrong, the prediction error is calculated at the inferior olive nucleus, and this signal is fed back to the cerebellum to improve future predictions. So as you see, that this is a pretty natural extension of the classical internal model theory, the cerebellum. And in addition to the next word prediction, so this the language system that can be used to understand the language, by extracting language feature. So let me explain this one as in details. Then the right lateral cerebellum is essential to extract the syntactic information from language. And so theoretically, we provided the potential mechanism by using the artificial cerebellar circuit. By building the artificial cerebellar circuit, we trained the circuit by using the next word prediction. Then the syntactic processing circuit emerged the upstream of the prediction circuit, prediction output, such that the Purkinje cell can represent the subject, verb, object, syntactic information. So in that sense, theoretically, the syntactic processing can be acquired by the cerebellar circuit through the next word prediction. Okay, then the cerebellum also can be expected to use the prediction error-based learning to build the predictive internal model for the prediction of the next word and also the understanding of the language world. Okay, Then let me move on to the next point. So yeah, let me say that this is the first point of the convergence of the AI, neocortex, and the cerebellum. Okay, and let me move on to the second point. Then for here I'd like to discuss the sensory and motor language processing separately. And in the classical idea, the sensory and motor language processing are considered to be done by distinct sensory and motor areas. However, more in recent view, the sensory and motor language processing are considered to be done by more integrated network, including both areas. And interestingly, a little bit older AI have the distinct language, distinct modules for the language understanding and also the language generation. And more interestingly, the more recent AI have the more integrated system. One good example is GPT. In training, GPT receive the sentence to predict the next word. And after using this next word prediction, GPT is trained. And interestingly, after the training, to generate sentence, GPT repurpose the same the output system of the generation of the prediction to generate the next word in generating sentence. Therefore, the so this the AI use kind of in this sense use a more integrated system. And then when I go back to the neuroscience, this kind of integrated system has already been proposed by the mirror neuron system theory in language. In this theory, the same shared mirror neuron system is used for both for the listening and speech. Indeed, the shared system has already been demonstrated even at the single neuron level by demonstrated by using the human neural pixel recording. So yes, so in this sense, in both AI and the neocortex, the predictive and the generative word models of language are used both for the sensory language processing and also the motor language processing. So I'd like to say this is the second point of convergence. Okay. And in other words, the mirror neuron system can be theoretically integrated with the internal model system. Okay, and when we go to the cerebellar processing, the cerebellar, the right lateral cerebellum, that is a cognitive language region in the cerebellum, also have ability to perform the generation, in addition to the next word prediction and understanding of the by the feature extraction. So generation includes the sentence generation with the proper grammar and also the verb generation. So in that sense, the cerebellum also this suggests the cerebellum also use the predictive and generative word model of language both for the sensory and motor language processing. So this can suggest the existence of the mirror neuron system in the cerebellum. So for this one, as far as I know, there is no evidence, so the further research should be awaited. But I think that this is an interesting possibility, the mirror neuron system in the cerebellum. So this is a brief summary of my first part of my talk. The all in the AI and the neocortex and the cerebellum, we can expect the convergence of these three systems. The first point is prediction error learning, and the second point is repurposing the predictive internal model for generation. Okay, yeah, so far, I talked about very the conceptual idea uh, the, of the processing in the cerebellum and neocortex and AI. And so next I would like to introduce the second another research in my lab that is more detailed research on the cerebral internal model. So in the first section, I talked about I mentioned that the cerebral internal model receives the sensory input from the external world and generates the prediction for the next future world state. However, the cerebral ability is not limited to uh, the generate a prediction for the external world. The cerebellum, when the cerebellum uh, uh, performs the cognitive processing in cooperation with neocortex, the cerebellum is considered to generate the future the neocortical signal by receiving the neocortical signal. And in this case, again, the inferior olive nucleus calculates the prediction error and that will send back to the cerebellum. So for this mechanism, this loop structure is essential. So the cerebellum receives neocortical signal through the pontine nucleus and generates the prediction of the future neocortical signal. And this prediction signal is sent back to the neocortex through thalamus. However, the learning mechanism of this predictive output is still unknown. Anatomically, the inferior olive nucleus is essential structure the providing the prediction error to and essential for the cerebral learning of the cerebral predictive function. And interestingly, this inferior olive nucleus received a substantial input from the neocortex through this disynaptic projection, the pathway. And therefore, it is hypothesized that cerebellum can learn to predict the neocortical signal through by receiving the neocortical olivo-cerebellar signal. Okay, to test this idea, I conducted an experiment in which I evoked the neocortical signal by using the electrical stimulation after a visual cue, so that this neocortical signal is predictable. And I tested if the Purkinje cells of the cerebellum can receive this neocortical signal through the inferior olive, and the Purkinje cell can learn to predict this neocortical signal. Okay. Okay. So to examine the first question of if the Purkinje cell can receive the neocortical signal through the inferior olive, I stimulated the eyelid region of the sensory neocortex, and I recorded the corresponding eyelid region of the cerebellum. Then the Purkinje cells showed complex spike after I evoked the unpredictable neocortical signal. So this is a complex spike, and complex spike is, as you know, the postsynaptic activity of olivo-cerebellar signal. And when I measured the latency from the onset of the neocortical signal to the complex spike, the latency distributed from the 10 millisecond to the 16 millisecond in most of the Purkinje cells. And so this suggested this, because this is short latency, so this short latency suggests that the signal is delivered through the very short latency pathway, such as this disynaptic pathway. So in summary, this indicates that the cerebellar Purkinje cells can receive the neocortical signal through the inferior olive with short latency. Okay. So then I tested the second question of if the cerebellum can learn to predict the neocortical signal. To test this, I directly measured the prediction signal of Purkinje cell after presenting the predictable neocortical signal. Okay, then when I delivered when I repeatedly presented this predictable neocortical signal more than 20 days, the Purkinje cell shows predictive posing activity in their simple spike activity before the predictable neocortical signal. And we observed this kind of the predictable posing signal in all recorded neurons in the eyelid region of the cerebellum. Okay, so this indicated that the cerebellar Purkinje cells learn predictive activity for the neocortical signal, predictable neocortical signal. Okay, so then I examined another question of whether the cerebellar Purkinje cell can receive the prediction error signal of the neocortical signal. To test this hypothesis, I compared the Purkinje cell complex spike response to the unpredictable neocortical signal and predictable neocortical signal. Then, as you see, the response to the unpredictable neocortical signal was higher than those to the predictable neocortical signal. So that means that this is consistent with the idea of the prediction error signal, because the prediction error signal is the neocortical signal minus cerebellar the prediction. So if the prediction exists, this signal can be suppressed and can be smaller. And in addition, when I sorted the trial according to the Purkinje cell posing, when the Purkinje cell shows larger the posing activity, predictive posing activity, this complex spike response was suppressed more. So that's also consistent with the idea of the prediction error coding. So that indicated that the cerebellar Purkinje cells receive the prediction error of the neocortical signal. Okay, so this is the summary of the uh, the uh, the second section. So these results provide compelling evidence that the cerebellum can learn to predict the neocortical signals and receive the essential signal for learning of this prediction through the inferior olive. And then let me summarize the entire story. In the first brain and AI similarity suggests that the neocortex and the cerebellum and AI use predictive and generative internal world models to achieve diverse functions of the sensory and motor processing. And in this sense, the cerebellum, it can be considered to perform the unsupervised prediction error learning, similar to AI and the neocortex. Although cerebellum is often considered as a supervised learning machine, but the actual processing is just prediction error learning. So the cerebellum do not receive the smart, the and highly processed supervised the signal. As you see, as you know, the good supervised learning example of the good supervised learning is the object recognition of the deep learning. So in that case, the deep learning, for example, convolutional neural network receives the correct label of the object, like the dog and cat and car, and that is labeled by humans. So that is a highly processed and supervised, the smart information that contains complete correct information. But in this case, the cerebellum do not receive such a smart information. So it's just a prediction error learning. So it can be considered in the framework of unsupervised learning or the self-supervised learning in the AI field and also in the similar to the neocortex. So I don't think that this one is a big conceptual change. It's just I think the terminology issue. And in the second point, that we reviewed the learning mechanism of the cerebral prediction of the neocortical signal. So this learning mechanism can be the general learning mechanism of cerebral cognitive processing when the cerebellum needs to cooperate with neocortex. Then the cerebellum receive the instruction signal from the neocortex through the inferior olive. In that sense, a cerebral prediction target can be the neocortical dynamics, and the cerebellum can be the model of another processor in the neocortex. Okay. Okay, with that, I would like to finish my presentation, and this is my members in our lab in Beijing, and also, yeah, I'd like to thank the support from the Javier lab and also these labs in cyber in Beijing, and also I'd like to thank the your attention, and I'm happy to have your question.
Thank you, Shogo. That was wonderful, and
Thank you.
congratulations on setting up your lab.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Lots of people are have their hands up, and I will just go ahead
Okay.
and start by asking them to go ahead. Chang, you have your hand up. Please go ahead.
Sure. Hi, Dr. Ohmae. I'm just wondering, have you considered adding brain clear to your model?
Brain what? What model?
Because adding brain clear to your model.
Sorry.
Bergman
Sorry,
glia.
can you?
I think he mentioned glia.
Ah,
Glia.
Bregman Greer. Bregman Greer. Bregman Greer. Sorry, honestly, I had I don't have good idea for the function of the Bregman Greer. The so for the to control the modulate the cognitive function of language function of the cerebellum. Yeah.
Yeah. So for our ongoing project, so we show that the brain glia can changing the input to, for example, the pillar fiber and then the climbing fiber input to the Purkinje cells. So we built a model to use Purkinje cell as an actor, and then brain glia as a critic. So that's our ongoing project and our current model. So
I see.
yeah.
I
So
see.
I mean,
Interesting.
yeah, if you're interested in that, I can share the data with you. Yeah. And
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. 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 I think that that can be good modulator for the learning of the cerebral system and the modulation of the output of the cerebellum.
can I ask the following question?
Let me move on to the
Sure.
people that have their hands up. Thank you, Chang. Frank, go ahead. You are muted.
Sorry. Yeah. Thank you for this very nice and interesting presentation.
Thank you.
After listening to your talk and seeing all the parallels between the neocortex and the cerebellum, one wonders, what is now the unique contribution of the cerebellum? Why is it needed at all? And why is the neocortex not doing it by itself? So what's the additional contribution now that you told about this?
Yeah, I agree. I think that is interesting and very reasonable question. And so, yeah, I think that is a very important point. So, at least for the neocortex have the unique circuit architecture, and also the cerebellum has a different unique circuit architecture. And the important point is the difference. So the obviously the neocortex has more the cell types, and also there are many multiple recurrent loops in the neocortical circuit. So the circuit is more complicated. The cerebellum have the I think the simpler circuit, and recently the recurrent the circuit recurrent connection is recurrent connection is demonstrated through the nuclear cortical pathway. But still the cerebellar circuit is simpler, much simpler than the neocortex. But the advantage of the cerebellum is the number of neurons. The number of neurons is much bigger, and also in terms of the processing speed, each neuron has a very quick response property. So in terms of the speed and the scale, the cerebellum has advantage. So I think that is the reason the cerebellum can have can be used for the prediction for the neocortical processing. So that can be because the cerebellum is faster, so that can be useful information for the neocortex. So that is my idea. Pretty I don't have evidence, but that is my
I understand your point, although I doubt whether the speed of the cerebellum is not lost by having all these connectivities and multi-synaptic connections. So I wonder whether this is the real and convincing explanation. But that's indeed up for future research, perhaps. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Jennifer.
Hi, Shogo. Thank you for that. And
Hi, Jennifer.
congratulations on your lab, which is obviously successfully going.
Thank
I
you.
had a question about your neocortical stimulation and the nature of the prediction that you showed, where as you get to the predicted time of the neocortical stimulation, firing rates were going down, down, down. But then they started to change direction and increase before that predicted time. And then there's the overshoot where it goes above baseline. So I was just wondering, what are your thoughts? What are those observations suggesting to you about the nature of the prediction? That there's a prediction of the time the stimulation would come, but then why is it reversing before that time, and why is it overshooting? How are you thinking about
Let me see. You mean the this point?
that?
Yeah, I agree that yeah. So I largely focused on this prediction part. So the Purkinje cell can generate the prediction signal and predictive posing before the predictable neocortical signal. And as you mentioned, this neuron shows actually the bursting activity after this neocortical signal. But this is only one neuron, so I'm not. I don't remember correctly the population level. If I remember correctly, some neurons show the posing the again after the predictable neocortical signal. So this may not be the consistent across all neurons. So in that sense,
The subset, it seems like a pretty interesting phenomenon. And I was kind of wondering if it's a second prediction, like a prediction of the omission. And if a way to get at that experimentally would be to not do omissions, and then does the firing rate does it just continue going down until the time versus starting to reverse to predict back of the stimulation? But anyhow, it's really intriguing.
I see. Yeah. I agree that point. So actually this evokes the eyelid. I stimulated the eyelid region. So actually this is worked as eye brain conditioning. So even using this neocortical signal to the eye brain region of the neocortex, the mouse shows the conditioned eye blink. The mouse acquired the conditioned eye blink, like the eye blink conditioning. So as is similar to the eye blink conditioning, the particularly in the omission trial, the eye blink's closure is peaks at the time of the US timing, and then after that the eye blink opens the mouth opens the eye again after the timing of the US. So that's in this the contest we trained the animal the eye blink the conditioned eye blink behavior as well. So simultaneously with this the training of the Purkinje cells simple spike, the mouse shows the generates the conditioned the eye blink response. In that case, similarly, similar to the eye blink conditioning, again the Purkinje cell simple spike, match the velocity profile of the eyelid closure, eyelid movement. So that's still in that sense, this is generates the driving of the prediction, and this is the opposite. So this is the stopping the prediction. So it may be the potential the mechanism.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alana, you have your hands up.
I just wanted to hear more about your intuition about the predictable neocortical signal, and were there any differences in cell tuning if it were more or less predictable? And I guess also how that might affect your how that might affect your
Sorry.
SS. So the question is intuition for the prediction error if your neocortical signal is more or less predictable, and how that might affect your SS response.
Are you talking about the prediction error coding?
Yes, I'm wondering to what extent you might be able to grade this response such that is it that if you have something that is very surprising or contains a lot of prediction error, would that be reflected in a sustained way from your SS response, or is it something that kind of washes out over time? Or if that's not even true.
Well, sorry, I don't understand what do you want to what's the washing out mean?
Oh, I'm wondering to what extent, if you apply a neocortical signal that is unpredictable, let's say within a range of 10% unpredictable up to 80% unpredictable, would it be that your SS response would remain as you showed on that slide, or would it sort of have a different response based on predictability?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't test that condition, but that at least in this case, the suppression of complex spike was correlated with the predictable simple spike posing activity. So that in that sense, if we can introduce the weaker predictive condition, then we can expect that this Purkinje cell, the posing activity can be weaker. Then we can expect that this the predictable the complex spike response to the predictable neocortical signal should be less suppressed.
Thank you.
Abby, please go ahead.
Thank you.
Hi, Shogo. Thank you for the lovely talk.
Thank you, Abby.
I was curious about whether you have any ideas about whether the feedback from the cerebellum back to the neocortex influences the neocortical response to stimulation. So sort of closing that whole loop and recurrence, is there a consequence of the cerebellum predicting this on the actual responsivity of the neocortex? And I think it's kind of a follow-up on Jennifer's question, really about the simple spike responses, but that's an indirect readout. But anyway, I was curious about whether you have any insight into that.
I see. So, yes. So yeah. So the one thing firstly the output target of the cerebellum is the neocortex. So the prediction signal is sent back to the neocortex through thalamus. So the neocortex can receive the predictive signal of the cerebellum. So that is the one the functional mechanism of this network, the reciprocal network, and so So in sorry, Abby, does this answer your question? So
I mean, it
do you
sounds like we
expect-
don't quite know what the I know, of course, about the pathway, and the real question is what is the consequence of the cerebellar learning on the neocortical response? But maybe we're not there yet, and that seems interesting.
I see. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's very interesting point. So of course, we can expect the cerebellum can provide a prediction signal to the neocortex, but still, yeah, we don't know the consequence and advantage of the prediction signal in the neocortex. Yeah, I agree. So in this experimental context as well, if we can block the predictive signal, and if we can on and off the prediction signal, and if we can see the impact of the cerebral predictive signal on the neocortex, that will be very interesting. Yeah, but of course I don't have data. Yeah, thank you.
Good question. Rich, please go ahead.
Yes, thanks for the presentation. And I guess I just wanted to hear if you had some predictions to make on the language front. Like what do you expect, like say, folks with cerebellar degeneration would have difficulty in the language world, and which things might they not have problems with?
Sorry, can you repeat your question again?
I was just looking for your thoughts on what sort of behavioral deficits you would expect to see in individuals with, say, cerebellar degeneration on language tasks. And also contrast that with what kinds of things would they be spared on, and which things would they show impairments on?
So you mean what kind of the deficit, the dysfunction can be observed in the cerebral dysfunction, and particularly in the language case.
In the language case, yeah.
Yeah. So, in my understanding, that is in the many cases that it shows the dysfunction appears at different levels. And so for example, of course, the next word prediction also disturbs. This one was demonstrated by the TMS, not the patient, but cerebral patients. But this one is also disturbed by the brain suppression, and also in the cerebral patients, the sentence generation with proper grammar is disturbed, and also the sentence generation with proper context is also disturbed. And so it seems the cerebral the language system is process language at a very high level.
Okay, what about the verb generation is clearly disturbed here about, whether it's verb generation or any generation, and how do you see that following from the model? That's always been kind of a puzzling phenomena about why they have such difficulty on these generate tasks.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. So this one is a little bit puzzling. I agree, but this one is very famous. The function of the cerebellum in the functional MRI study, and also dysfunction in the cerebral patient. So I honestly do not have the good explanation, but it seems the cerebellum have also have the word representation in the cerebral system. So this one is usually tested by the generated ask the patient to generate the verb word, the corresponding to a particular noun of action or something like that. So that in that sense, the background mechanism can be the word representation and word relationship in the space of the brain. So in that sense, in my understanding, that's the kind of the word embedding also encoded in the cerebellum.
Thank you.
Thank
Mickey,
you.
please go ahead, Mickey.
That was a great talk, Shogo.
Thank you, Mickey.
In monkeys, one of the hallmarks of prediction is zero latency responses to a regular stimulus. So if you ask a monkey to make saccades to a visual stimulus appearance back and forth, the responses develop zero latency, and the frontal eye field neurons, at least, follow that. Charlie Bruce showed that. So do you have in the mouse a behavioral assay of predictability?
What's your question? In the mouse,
do you have a behavioral assay of prediction equivalent to, in the monkey or human, the zero latency response to a regular target?
It's a little bit difficult question to me. Of course, as you know, there are many predictive activity in Purkinje cell in mice as well. Like the eye brain conditioning paradigm, and also in this paradigm, the predictive activity for the neocortical signal. But I'm not sure about the corresponding particularly corresponding the predictive activity, like the prediction of the switching target. But yeah, I think that yeah, I think the point can be, for example, in the eye brain conditioning case, the mouse can generate the predictive movement. So I believe the mouse can generate the predictive the motor activity. So maybe your question is the mouse the predictive activity for the sensory event. That in that sense, that is a little bit difficult question to me.
All right. Maybe we can look that up to see if there's existence for that behavior. But let's go to our last question, Court.
Hi, Court. I think you are muted.
Yeah, sorry, I was talking. It's nice to see you, and I really love the work. And yeah, my question's a little bit of a follow-up to Jennifer's about the simple spikes and what's going on with those simple spikes that are predicting the neocortical stimulation. What I was wondering is if there's any relationship between those patterns of simple spikes and then the complex spikes you showed on the next slide. Is it the same cells that preferentially show an unexpected complex spike response that have these kind of ramp downs in the simple spikes? Is there any relationship between those two patterns of activity that you've noticed?
Yeah. So that is the same cell. So this is the same cell. So this is the simple spike of a representative neuron. And as you see, in some case, the simple spike, the predictive, the posing activity is stronger than the other trials. And then this is the same, the complex spike from the same cell. And then as you see, if the predictive simple spike porting is stronger, the complex spike is more suppressed.
Is this true on average that it's those cells with that differential unpredictable response that affect this? That's super
the same,
cool.
consistent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Wonderful. And I don't know if you want to comment at all about the climbing fiber response to the LED in this slide.
So, can you
I don't know if you
tell me
want
that
to
again?
comment about the complex spikes that are now responding to the LED.
Ah, this one. Yeah. So this one again the response to the CS. So in this context as well, the complex spike shows the CS response like the TD signal.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shogo. That was wonderful. And thank you, everyone, for joining today.